Hey everyone, welcome back, my name is Scraps, and today we are playing Not for Broadcast.
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Ignore all the text here, I'm sure it'll disappear soon. It usually does anyway. Honestly, I'm a little surprised it shows. I was deliberately waiting for all that to disappear. You can edit it out during editing, I guess. Day 371, a proportionate response. The rest of your shift passes in a blur. With the same words going around and around in your head. Operatives working for advanced detonated nuclear explosives. Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. Did this really just happen? You pull into the driveway with no memory of the journey home. The light in the front is on. Clearly someone else is still awake. The door creaks open into the living room and you find Sam sitting on the sofa, staring at the TV. The screen is off and they're clearly lost in thought. You take a seat beside them and put a reassuring hand on their shoulders. Good night. I guess it's day more than night for you, but get well, right? Yeah, no, I get it. It's the name of a character you made. That's fine. They don't look at you, but they do reach up to take your hand in theirs. Now you're closer, you can see Sam's face more clearly. You see a face, you see a look you've never seen before. Chris and Susie, they're both. I know, what do we do? Well, sleep tight. What can we do? They killed Chris and Susie and millions of others, all because of their war which we never asked for. Where there should be tears, there's only fire, pure raw fury. They're manic now. I hate them, Alex. I know you've always supported Advance, but after this, they're monsters. I need you to know you understand that we're not going to help them anymore. I don't know what to put here already. These are difficult questions. The country is suffering. This war has to end. Advance did what was necessary and glad they were prepared to do what was needed to protect us all. Nothing can justify what they did. Anyone who tries is just as bad as they are. I'll take the middle road. Seriously, Alex? Advance have crossed the line and we can't let it stand anymore. Sam takes both your hands in theirs and looks at you, with tension clear in their voice. This isn't a situation where you can pick the middle ground. Ha! They know. Advance killed Chris. They killed her daughter, Alex. I will never ever forgive them for that. And if you can. Advance showed the world they would do anything to protect us. I'm just going to say that what they've done is unforgivable. Relief spreads over Sam's face like a wave, and they collapse against you, clutching tightly. Clearly, this was weighing heavily on them. You're not sure if you've even processed it at all fully yet, but at least you'll get through it together. Bring the house down. Yeah, perhaps in another playthrough, if I ever play this game again. The last week has passed in a blur. A rush of things to do, but all immediately forgotten, your memory clouded by dark fog. 9 days since the so-called Liberation Night and the beginning of Advance's new future. You weren't the first ones at the church today. You were staggered by the number of people who have come to mourn with you. Everyone here for the same reason, sharing the same pain, the same sense of loss, is written all over their faces, much as it would be on yours. You step away from everyone else, needing space to gather your thoughts. Your little girl, Susie, and Chris too, both just gone. Sam has said little since that evening, clearly still in shock. Not that you could blame them, of course. You haven't been much better. Sam appears silent and squeezes your hand. Tightly, an act of desperation seeking comfort, and you squeeze back. Some small piece of you can't help but wonder, are you partly to blame? These scars will not fade quickly. There hadn't even been coffins to bury. So little gameplay. Oh wow, we're skipping a whole year. An academic exodus. It's a seemingly ordinary morning, but as you get into work, you find a small crowd gathered in the break room. When you go in to grab your first cup of tea of the day, you can't help but overhear some exciting chatter. You didn't hear? Yeah, another one's gone missing. Does that bring the total up to now? Oh, I should think over 100 at this point. They won't all have been reported or noticed yet. Sorry, what's going on? An excited young woman turns to you and begins to explain. Another professor went missing from Queensview University before the other disappearances over the last year. Scientists, doctors, researchers. She pauses before lowering her voice to a whisper. It's clearly disrupt, targeting the people speaking out against them. I even heard advancers struggling to prevent further. A deep, familiar voice from behind you interrupts. What exactly is going on here? A silence overtakes the room as you all turn in unison towards the doorway. Boseman's I can't talk today. Boseman clears his voice before continuing. I've told you before, I don't want to hear about these so-called disappearances. Come on now, people. Advance have been very clear that they are nothing to worry about. Which means they are not a problem, and unless they start classing cappuccinos as intellectual, I don't think anyone here has anything to worry about. Best get back to work. Boseman holds up a hand to keep you as everyone else files out of the room. Look, I know you have a habit of doing what you want, but things are different now. Advance runs the show, and they've made their feelings clear, so now I'm doing the same. Channel 1's official position is that the government has things well in hand. Nothing more, nothing less. I trust I won't be hearing talk about this again. He gives you a curt nod before leaving. It seems that, for better or for worse, public ownership is now in full swing. Skipping another 100 days. A career in the making. You drum your fingers on the steering wheel impatiently as you wait for Charlie again. It's great he's enjoying the cohesion cadets and is so enthusiastic, but does he really need to stay behind every week to help? It's your Saturday evening too, after all. State news, thanks. Finally you see him exit the hall, a grin on his face. You can't help but smile back, the frustration starting to fade as you see him so genuinely happy. After hugging his friends goodbye, Charlie heads over to the car and gets in, his face flushed with excitement. So how was you're interrupted as he can't contain himself any longer? Guess what? What? You play along with a smile. So obviously the Cohesion Cadets is a starting point for becoming a CCO. So we get a head start when applying for that. Charlie gushes, clearly keen on explaining his news, almost tripping over the words in his efforts to tell you. Well, apparently, from next year, the top 5% of the cadets will be taken into a special program to become CCMs, Community Cohesion Managers. And guess who's gonna be in it? He beams at you. What do they do? Oh, well, basically they need a new liaison team between regular people, the CCOs, and the Battlement Department. And that'll be us. People come to us with concerns and we'll decide whether they need referrals and, if so, to which department. Cool, right? So you're going to help people report on the friends and neighborhoods. I'll just say, good job, buddy. With a grin from ear to ear, he sits back in his seat. Yeah, I'm so glad I joined. I can't wait to tell everyone. You chuckle. I think a celebration is in order. How about we pick up some takeaway on the way home? Yes, so cool. And the rest of the car ride is spent with Charlie listing every takeaway he can think of. It's great to see him doing so well. Off we go again, another couple weeks this time. About a month. A spark to light the flames. Sorry, night of fire. What's going on? You're surprised to find Sam in bed next to you when you wake up. They must have got in very late last night from drinks with the folks from school. You decide to let them sleep in and enjoy a lazy Sunday morning. With the house quiet, you decide to bring some breakfast into the living room to watch some TV while you eat. This is breaking news. Reports are coming in from across the country that a large swaths of farmland went up in flames last night as part of what authorities are calling a heinous and well-planned act of terrorism by the group known as Disrupt. You drop your spoon back into the porridge and turn up the volume. In addition to food stores, which government sources have said will put a strain on universal menu centers countrywide, a number of CCO and civic buildings were targeted in last night's attack. According to Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, specific prisons and re-education and battlement facilities were raided, and a small selection of problematic and potentially dangerous individuals were forcibly extracted from lawful custody. You hold your breath, waiting to hear if anyone got hurt. Fortunately, the CCOs were well prepared for an event like this, and Disrupt appeared to be disorganized in comparison. While there were a limited number of fatalities, these were entirely comprised of Disrupt terrorists, with only 3 CCOs reported injuries in various conflicts across the country. A significant amount of Disrupt activists were arrested and incarcerated, awaiting transfer to a battlement center. More on the story as it develops. You go to turn off the TV. You're interrupted by Charlie walking into the living room, bleary-eyed and with a piece of toast. Anything interesting going on? He gestures to the TV. Mutely, you leave the news on as they cycle through the story again. Charlie watches in hushed silence. By the end of the broadcast, they're dubbing it The Night of Fire. Everything is going to be okay, right? Yeah, it's all going to be fine, bud. Of course it is. Of course it is state news. It's completely censored. Am I finally going to get to play another episode? I've been in game for like 15 minutes already, only reading texts. A year and a half since Liberation Night.
Alex, this is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and to be frank, we need your help. I know you've never been that sympathetic to our cause, but since the bombs, well, you've seen what happened. They have to be stopped, Alex. You know it in your heart, and tonight, well, it might be our very
I
last
know,
chance.
right?
Play our tape at the second break. It's on your right. And please, when I hack in, let my message reach the people just once, just tonight, before advance can't be stopped.
Because I don't want to go on a date with your cousin, Colin.
What?
Flash sale.
My dignity, my
Crazy
reputation.
Neil, of
Once
course.
you get past the teeth and the problematic tattoo.
I'm
Alright, this
capable of
stuff.
messing up my own love life.
What's with the audio mixer?
David wouldn't get off the
Can I
phone.
interact with that?
David.
Christ's sake, Colin, stay out of it.
I can help you. I'm an expert at romance. Ask my ex-wives.
Please don't set me up with your brother. 10
Ex-wives.
seconds, everybody. You're not this type, babe.
Too short?
Too smart. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolfe. Our top stories tonight. Ashes to ashes. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted attacks across the territories. The coordinated action, dubbed the Night of Fire by commentators,
What is
seen
this
as an
for
attempt to subvert the
fiction?
supply chain, but there may have been more to it. While emergency services were all kept busy at the agricultural centres, it seems a series of covert attacks was carried out, including the freeing of political prisoners and, sources say, several assassination attempts. The Department of Betterment have declined to comment. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack Tractor Pants, spokesman for the menu centres, said today that while they can guarantee the contents of every box is nutritious, the actual quality of the meals you cook depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills of a professional footballer.
I mean, that's just a bit of humour, isn't it?
Happiness levels have been reported today.
I think I can be happy with that
As
choice.
more and more former countries join the new future, a survey carried out by scientists at Queensview University reveals a stunning fall in depression, self-harm and suicides, especially in those territories which have historically faced the most unjust of indivisions.
Show the scientists.
Professors Whiff Piffle and Grantley Major said that their rigorous statistical analysis left them in no doubt that things are numerically better for everyone everywhere. So if you think you're feeling down in the dumps
People don't need
tonight,
to see the numbers, they can't read graphs, come on.
any dream will do. Oddball Disrupt spokesman Alan James today set out Disrupt's vision for what he calls a return to free society. However, the problematic provocateur avoided answering any questions on the movement's increasingly sinister tactics. Leading commentator and regular guest on the National Nightly News, Katie Brightman, has been notably outspoken against
Essentially.
both Disrupt and Mr. James himself.
Except it's in
Her
Britain.
family reported today that she's not been seen since last Tuesday. And final headlines tonight for 3 stories we've been following closely for the last 2.5 years. Foreign soil. A glimpse
Foreign
of
soil,
CEO
yeah.
Sophia Remington, who, facing
I don't know which one
charges
is
centred
I should
around the
pick,
details of her
if it even matters.
has spent the last year in refuge at the Malvalian Embassy here in the capital. With no end in sight to her self-imposed isolation, the board of Remington's Fist removed her as CEO in absentia this morning by a unanimous vote. Sophia was heard to yell something obscene in Malvalian at the assembled journalists before slinking back inside. We didn't catch all of it, but it was something about our mother and a goat. Arty Pants reports.
And the game crashed again. Delightful. Such a high quality game. Or maybe it's my computer, I don't know. We're going to have to do all that again. Yeah, we have beans. We also have potato. Can you believe that? At least we don't have to do the text again, right? I don't know why the game always crashes. Genuinely, I have no idea.
The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and to be frank, we need your help. I know you've never been that sympathetic to our cause, but since the bombs, well, you've seen what happened. They have to be stopped, Alex. You know it in your heart, and tonight, well, it might be our very last chance. Play our tape at the second break. It's on your right. And please, when I hack in, let my message reach the people just once, just tonight, before Advance can't be stopped.
Cuz, I don't want to
Is
go
that
on
a
a date with
bomber?
your cousin, Colin.
What have you got to lose?
My dignity, my reputation.
It's all right once you get past the teeth and the problematic tattoo.
I am perfectly capable of messing up my own love life. Sorry about that.
Approved book
I
club.
wouldn't get off the phone.
Oh, is David single?
For Christ's sake, Colin, stay out of it.
Oh, it's that guy.
You.
Peter Clement, right?
Romance. Ask me ex-wife.
I don't want him on my calendar.
With your brother.
He's an alcoholic.
Everybody. You're not as tight, babe.
Too short?
Join us at your local menu center for 100% free, healthy, nutritious meals the whole family will love.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolfe. Our top stories tonight. Ashes to ashes. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted attacks across the territories. The coordinated action, dubbed the Night of Fire by commentators, was seen as an attempt to subvert the supply chain, but there may have been more to it. While emergency services were all kept busy at the agricultural centres, it seems a series of covert attacks was carried out, including the freeing of political prisoners and, sources say, several assassination attempts. The Department of Veterans...
I mean, I bet then we didn't.
Food, glorious food.
But we've learned
Menu
our
centres
mistakes,
opening in
I hope.
territories 5, 8 and 14
We do
today.
grow
Advance
potatoes nowadays, at
confirmed
least.
that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world.
By the way, I'm not going to let the guy hack in.
Said today that
I will play the
can't
tape.
guarantee the contents of every
I won't
meal
let
is
him hack
nutritious.
in.
The actual quality of the meals you cook depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills of a professional footballer. Happy talk. Record happiness levels have been reported today across the territories. As more and more former countries join the new future, a survey carried out by scientists at Queensview University reveals a stunning fall in depression, self-harm and suicides, especially in those territories which have historically faced the most unjust of indivisions. Professors Whiff Piffle and Grantley Major said that their rigorous statistical analysis left them in no doubt that things are numeric.
I'm just picking the exact same things.
So if you think you're feeling
Feeling
down in the
lazy.
dumps tonight, you're empirically wrong. Any dream will do. Oddball Disrupt spokesman Alan James today set out Disrupt's vision for what he calls a return to free society. However, the problematic provocateur avoided answering any questions on the movement's increasingly sinister tactics. Leading commentator and regular guest on the National Nightly News, Katie Brightman, has been notably outspoken against both Disrupt and Mr. James himself. Her family reported today that she's not been seen since last Tuesday. And final headlines tonight for three stories we've been following closely for the last 2.5 years. Foreign soil. A glimpse today of failed CEO Sophia Remington, who, facing serious criminal charges centred around the details of her pet project, has spent the last year in refuge at the Malvalian Embassy here in the capital. With no end in sight to her self-imposed isolation, the board of Remington's Fist removed her as CEO in absentia this morning by a unanimous vote. Sophia was heard to yell something obscene in Malvalian at the assembled journalists before slinking back inside. We didn't catch all of it, but it was something about our mother and a goat. Arty Pants. Reports that the scientists trapped in Dante's taint have set
This is where the game was
Black Hole
crashing,
seem to have been
so...
confirmed today. Seen here enjoying their first annual arts festival, which they call
Yeah, who
Dante's
knows?
Taint. The team say they've
But then again,
chosen
by which party? It crashed again. Maybe I should lower some settings somewhere. Blimey, this is professional streaming at its finest.
Tell me, why do you think the public love the notice board so much?
It's real. There, I said it. It connects with people.
Look at how many people are watching.
And they say those are
A little bombing, really does a lot, huh?
That's a really interesting point.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my PA secretary as I got out the limo, I was saying, it's good for people to see normal, authentic people like them on TV.
People like you.
Precisely. Unfortunately, then I was interrupted by some dreadful wretch who wanted an autograph. But
Oh, you can put that.
Security soon put him back in line.
Yes, well, I think it's really good that our screens are filled with such relatable stories. So, the notice board is coming to an end after a sensational time at the top. What do you think has made this show so successful?
It's a combination of so many things. My hard work, my talent, my look.
Yeah, I can't imagine how a regime like that would keep its power, honestly.
We've just heard our man's on camera 4.
I have a real sense of responsibility now. You know, a sense I've been entrusted with.
Back to the interview, Alex.
Precious, and that I should use that platform for good.
That should be sufficient.
I think that's really important.
Sorry, Boseman.
We should use this platform to do good in the world, I agree.
That's exactly it. So I've decided to help as many underprivileged.
Excellent work, Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them the go.
Is that better access to education or reducing child poverty?
Oh, no, but
I am keeping it afloat.
Oh, okay.
Doing just enough of the advanced stuff, doing just enough of the terrorist stuff.
Goodness, that is a lot of children.
Yeah, once we finish putting them into the guest room, I'll have to put a futon in the laundry cupboard.
Oh, you really are some sort of hero.
Hey, I live a privileged life. What can I say? I mean,
Meanwhile, the gunfire outside.
is a child rescued from suffering.
Poor children. Were their lives really that bad before?
That's a bomb.
Orphans, I presume so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shocking to think actually that only 1 in 10,000 children have a celebrity parent.
I'd never thought of it that way
And
before.
I'm doing everything I can to fix those numbers.
What do you think it is about your life that's so desirable then?
Well, it's mainly shame and panic interspersed with expensive bottled water.
Yeah, going up. Wonderful.
Trade.
That I can relate to. Right, you better go off and get ready. That was Philippa Radin sharing some thoughts about her lifestyle. I think it's really important to stay grounded and keep everything in perspective. Clearly, not everyone else agrees, but that's enough from me. Let's go now over to Dangly Parts for the final ever episode of the Notice Board.
Oh, they removed the paper.
What a day! First the tea morning, and now to post this notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait, perhaps I do. Oh! By St. Barnabas, what on earth is all this?
freeze, dirtbag!
Oh, Laura, it's you. I thought for a moment you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
No, I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course. Keep forgetting that thanks to you and your colleagues, violence on our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know! It's a disgrace. Somebody has
I'm not going to lie, Alex. It's a hard fight. But we've got the location right, and now we need you to give our people the go code. For the next 3 sound effects, 3 boos in a row. 3 boos, Alex.
They don't call me
I
the right
can't
word
follow who's
for no
doing
reason.
what.
Yes!
It's no good.
The notice board is definitely some quality.
Time.
Perhaps you, a young CCO, would be able to move.
2 for 2. Fantastic.
It looks like all those
Brilliant.
lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me, a strong and capable
Let's hope that's enough. At least you tried, Alex.
Oh, I missed
enough
it.
to lift this.
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town?
I'll do another one.
Hi-ya!
Well done, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
The fighting is really getting intense out there.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferrets struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked. My God!
Oh no!
We'll have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry. We won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no, no. Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature. But really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fate. Or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout!
Suppose I'll go for the full screen so people can see what's happening.
It's the morning of the village fete. It's thanks to theatrical convention.
I'm sure everything goes to plan. Oh, look! There's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that will be far too expensive for live television.
I'm going to set up the coconut
I missed the
shy.
button.
What are you doing, Vicar?
First, I'm running the tombola. Then, I'll be selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Well, that sounded like Mrs. Craven.
Sure
Someone
did.
sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
That damn ferret has struck again!
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll just have to cancel the fate.
Hold it right there, ferret.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
But how did you know?
Well, my first clue was the smell.
Yes, I do smell of urine.
Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
Or perhaps eating Mrs. Craven's baking.
Which brings me on to my third clue. The vicar said that he had no more room for jam.
Almost as if he'd had his fill.
Precisely.
But you managed to figure it all out from that?
Well, I also found this at the scene.
That proves nothing. No!
Get him out of here!
You did it, Captain. You could say you ferreted him out.
Hey, come on. Let's go and have a party in my massive garden. I am doing well.
Thanks to you, we're all doing well. That was it. The final ever episode of the Notice Board.
Oh.
What a way to end it. Thank you as always.
I also miss Jeremy. I wonder if there's a way of keeping him in the game.
Learning. So don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
That's the ads. Well done, everybody.
Wow!
That was very close,
What a
wasn't it?
brilliant run, eh? After party at my place, eh?
What advert is this, Alex? I don't remember passing it for broadcast. I think you made a mistake there.
I've got 4 kinds of sausage.
Yeah, well, there's no fixing it, so...
On the news talking about
Coming to the after parties?
and how progressive their policies are.
Oh, it's you! It's, what's her name? What's her name? Katie?
I'm here tonight to say
I think?
I'm not going to lie to you, Alex. It looks bad. thought the public would come out, that they'd be behind us. Still, can't give up now. One last request, Alex, if you can. One of the next guests is with us. When you get asked, censor her for us, and the final orders will go out. You'll get 3 chances. Please, if there's any humanity left in you, get it right at least twice. There's so many.
Punished. I didn't see how backwards advance were. I didn't understand that rather than tearing down the wealth creators, we should have been helping everyone else to take a seat at their table. Under advance, the country is poorer. It is poorer in ambition. It is poorer in aspiration. We are infantilized by advance's naive policies.
Please, Sarah,
Policies
anything.
born
Sorry,
from
Mum, I'm really not supposed to say.
Are we safe?
Hi, I'm
redistributed
Maddie.
fantasies.
Jenny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
I have hauled myself out to the media to defend
That's
the
my shade, is it?
indefensible.
Yeah.
This is
I
my
have
shade.
betrayed my parents. I see that now. Mum, Dad,
You can run back to
I'm
Jenny now.
sorry. Our only hope,
Sorry about that, Sarah. Nothing you
the
can say.
only hope,
At all, like at all.
They've said no one's died,
now
that's all I can
lies.
say.
10
with
seconds.
distrust.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Well, good luck, Megan.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking Disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor? Yes, I see. Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him something that is absolutely chilling. We share coffee in the morning, and we make love every day. We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs.
Oh, it's shaking.
Charitable deeds, but the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John. Oh, dearest John. There's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wong, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scans revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, oh, John. We're having a baby.
How can this be?
Oh, woe is me.
Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum of
Safety in our tiny flat. We built a peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in Territory 3.
No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never going to get a good night's sleep again. No more snap decisions to go on to a club.
You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub. Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's grown.
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one woes. No one
writings on the walls. A happy husband, a wonderful wife. We got a childless life. We're having a baby.
This show takes a while, doesn't it?
Changing nappies daily. We're having a baby. No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is uppermost. It's more than a passing craze to have childless days. We're having a baby. Food and drink thrown everywhere. Death trap toys at the top of the stairs. Every parent prays to have childless babies. We're having a baby. No more spas and no more. We're having a baby. 18 years on bills and lease. Time for a whole new phase. We're having a baby. One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Oh, Lord.
Amazing. The Novaries there, treating us to their opening number from Elegy for a Childless
Okay,
Life,
so
which is
bring it on,
the
right?
hottest ticket in the Capital Theatre District. And we'll be touring the territories later this year.
Right then, come on, you guys.
Really?
Come on down, let's go, don't be shy. Hello. Hi, Megan. It's an honour to be
Oh, it's the
here.
whole family again, isn't it?
Used to be. Well, listen, let's get stuck in. Your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
Jim Blunt. Pleasure to be here.
Jennifer Boram Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Sapley. Used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest.
That's incredible.
Another
All
Janet.
friends
Oh,
previously.
another
What a
explosion.
coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
She immediately regrets all.
Pretty obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it.
And I believe as well as being friends, you're also couples. In real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack. Jen, Janet, Jill, Jen, Janet, Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much toing and froing.
And gnashing and wailing.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we just
That was on
wanted
time.
names, which is less truthful.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Nimby Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital!
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only
Ah, I got the green bar almost entirely full now.
You really don't
Wonderful.
repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
I love that job.
It's been a very turbulent time.
So peaceful, no singing. So peaceful.
He doesn't seem to like his new acting job.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children.
Can do.
And why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem.
Oh, wow. That's a long one.
You understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
This isn't about me. Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted.
I'll just censor this because I've been told to.
Usually I'm the chatty one. Because
you're the youngest, we know. It's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please, Jennifer. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So could you tell us
What's going on with these guys?
about? What happens in it? Well, go ahead. It's a tragedy, obviously. Jennifer, myself, and
Oh, my bar went significantly down. That's such a shame.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
It's absolute no. Yeah, maybe.
Eagle-eyed, she sees her friends rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more, though. I probably said too much already.
Yes. Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to see it.
which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without children is somehow incomplete, that children are...
I guess I'm not allowed to do the zoomed out bit this time.
They're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know, when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The noble is there. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific...
Oh, there's more.
Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick
Oh, look, it's
Bannon,
Patrick
reporting
Bannon.
from the scene of tonight's
Who
devastating
definitely doesn't sound like a girl now.
tonight this evening. An attack
Big
that I myself
cheese.
have been found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave, not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same. I don't deserve praise for being human.
Yes, no accolades here. Or Palisades. Or lemonade. Right.
I guess so,
Is
yeah.
the situation now? Are we safe?
Yes, the security services performed their duties without hesitation. And
But there might just be a little oversight in the game itself.
there were no civilian deaths.
You know how these things are.
Oh, that's good news about the civil.
They're not too much into the details, and they sometimes
That's
have...
right. No civilian deaths. Just the 4 disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a
It
message.
really is getting close. You can see the smoke here.
Speak there on the camera there.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war. Disrupt have had their moment, but as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for those strong words of strength. Back to
They're
the
making
studio.
their way here, aren't
Now
they?
in studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horrifying bombing. Maybe you need to get checked out, Patrick.
What's going on?
Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's national.
She seemed
Anthem.
dazed.
Here we go. One final thought.
Oh
Throughout the
my.
programme tonight, we've been receiving reports of disrupt activities throughout the territories. Through a series of coordinated attacks, these terrorists are attempting to undermine Advance's vital work. However, sources at team headquarters have told us that this acid revolution was not only predicted, but allowed to happen. Our government have lured Disrupt out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and well, it's pretty scary out there tonight, so stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this programme that the turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our minds.
Yeah, sure, it'll soon be over.
My name is Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
God, we made it to the roof. Set up the rocket launcher. Let's silence the monster. Look out the window, Alex.
Waarom? If it isn't intended, then obviously it's a cool detail. Advance really does not care about civilian casualties. What is this, Russia? Frontline reached the broadcasting office. Yes, it did. See Disrupt fall to Advance's new world. New what? It didn't. I had no time to read that entire thing. Come on. You have received your full wages. Oh, we got paid. And Neil is happy again. Love it. For some reason Disrupt isn't. Not entirely certain why that is. But alas, that's the end of today's recording. For YouTube, that is. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and hit the notification bell in order to be notified whenever a new video comes out. Leave a comment in the comment box below. Share your thoughts and feelings. Let me know what you think about the game. Hold on, I pressed the wrong button. Quit the main menu. Okay. What did I say? Where was I? Right. Leave a comment in the comment box below to share thoughts and feelings and let me know what you think about how everything here went today. I would love your feedback, as per usual, to be honest. That being said, I'm afraid it's going to have to be the end of today's episode. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for an episode of Death Stranding. Goodbye.